Yo, what's poppin'? What's poppin'? This is On the Rock with Stone Kama Kawaida Tunakucheki. I am your host, Son of Maria, and it's all about the good vibes. No time for bad vibes, just mad, mad vibes. And Kama Kawaida tuned in with me on the left as some pretty ladies, manzi. Na unajua, On the Rock is all about the boy child. So, boy child, wherever you're listening to us from, manzi, let's get to hear the perspective of our beautiful women and what they think about the boy child. So, on the left, who am I tuned in with today?
Winnie.
Winnie.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, sweetie. And on the far left,
Leah.
Leah. So Winnie and Leah. Me, I have a very simple equation. I won't take much of your time, but it's just something that is happening currently. And there's this term where we say gender equality. So, Winnie, if I ask you, when you hear the term gender equality, what comes in your head?
Of course, equal rights. Yeah. Equal opportunities. Yeah.
And what about you?
As she has just said, it matters equal rights, equal opportunities, and I think equity for all.
Equity for all. Okay, I'll beg to differ with you because me and I'm sure any boy child listening to this, anytime we hear the mention of gender equality, it's more of the female domination. If you hear someone saying somewhere that gender equality, what will come in mind is that the female is being oppressed. True or false?
I
A
think
female is being oppressed whenever we hear the term gender equality.
I think that is that's not a good mentality because generally when we talk about gender equality, we have to look at when the term gender is mentioned, then it cuts across all both male and female. Yeah, but I think personally I'll say maybe boys look at it from a completely different perspective.
Do you agree, Len?
Yeah, I agree with her because I think people tend to think that maybe nowadays boys are being left aside or being discriminated,
But we are.
which is not true. Let me tell you, even according to the research that has been done, we've not yet even achieved the gender equality that the one that we are fighting for. It will take more than 100 years for us to reach that place that maybe boys and men are. Let's say, for example, our society has brought us in a way that we are the female species are the most inferior, while the male gender they are superior in our community. So I don't think that it's just that the more that we've seen people, there are a lot of voices being voicing on the how we empower girl child, and we think that you as men will say that maybe boy child are being neglected, which is not true. We are
Okay.
still fighting for gender equality.
Let me agree to disagree with you. This is very crucial. Na najua hapa tutaongea like right now, for instance, KCSE marks. The girl child has a lower cut point compared to the boy child. And you talk about gender equality, equal rights, equal opportunities, equal equals, everything equal, right? But we are not seeing that. Angalia right now, if I go for a job interview, right? Just because you're a just because you're a female and I have the most experience, I have the most everything, but since you're a female, you'll get favored compared to the man. And you talk about the society. The society right now is we are growing up in a society full of feminists, man. People saying that, oh, what a man can do, a woman can do better, which I perfectly agree. I perfectly agree. But why don't I see this equality when it comes to being in the court? Why don't I see this equality when it comes to jails being filled with men, people who haven't even made other mistakes? Like, is this really equality that we're talking about?
I think if we are to talk about issues inequality, then I'll say we still need to empower more girls. Because currently in Kenya, in the world, if you go for a job, if you get a position in a company, the same position with a man, then the men will get a higher pay than the women. So, if you are going to talk about the marks, I think the reason as to why girls are given opportunities when they have lower marks is because most girls still go through pressures of having to do the house chores and having to take care of the family and still going to school. For instance, we have instances where like currently I'll say in Nairobi County, we have shortage of water. It is the girl who goes to fetch water. Now, this girl does not get the same time to study as the boy.
Okay, I think we're in different timelines. If we're in 2023.
Yes.
Sorry to bring you from the past, because girl child nowadays, do you really even go to fetch water or stuff? You're talking about the pressures that the girl has to go through, right? Think about the pressures that the man has to go through. The pressures in what way? In this way, the pressures where I am not feeling okay. I'm feeling like a bum. I'm feeling like a fuck up and all that. But I cannot speak to someone because ndambiwa nini? Kuwa mwanaume. That is what I'll be told.
Let me tell you, hapo ndo sasa unaonanga a lot of what I will say is that venye alikuwa nasema a lot of young girls out there. For you, you're saying this is 2023. I think maybe for you, you're looking for girls who live in the urban sectors. You're not even considering for those that even live in rural area. Those girls, whatever they go through a lot. For them, just to find a time for them to just sit in class and just maybe memorize na kushika kila kitu ndio waweze kupata ile marks ya kumpeleka university, they go through a lot. But let me tell you, hata ukiangalia tu sasa vile tumebringiwa up, kuna zile kazi zimetamiwa ni za ladies gender roles. Kuna zile ni za ladies, kuna zile za men. Ukiangalia zile za men ndio the way we were brought up. Mwana ambaye tu maybe kama ni ushagondo uchunge ng'ombe na kuchota maji, maybe that. But a girl child will have to do a lot. Alafu kuna issue nasema maybe we are brought up in a society that maybe boy child amekuwa hawezi jiongea. But you know what? It all starts from our background. How have you raised a mtu mvulana? Membring up paji. Nakwambia societal whatever na culture ndio zinafanya mtu mvulana juu kile leo naambia kwa wewe ni mvulana usilie. The same thing unajaribu kumuonesha, unajaribu kuweka mtu msichana ni vulnerable na mtu mvulana anajiweza. So the issue is janza sai, it all started from the way back. Nyinyi mlifanywa nyinyi ni superior na ukiwa na issues you cannot speak out. And then another thing, kuna a lot of room for young boys and young men ati waweze kwenda kujiongea, matters mental health, lakini wavulana ni wakina nani very ignorant. Hawezi jitokelezea, at least atasema nenda hapo nenda gain nini. For them maybe atasema atakamaliza atapata pesa. And if you go somewhere ukitaka ka handout, then you've not gone there to gain information. Me I think tukiendelea kuchange to maybe from the societal background, tukibadilisha tuko chini, then hii issue ya kusema maybe gender equality ijakuwa achieved ama maybe venye unasema girls are more favored, which is not true.
It's true, man.
It's not.
I think what happens, girls know how to run for opportunities.
Wow.
It is not about
Wow.
I tell you that because me personally, I live in Nairobi.
Yeah.
And I think I have been able to do programs in rural areas. And I'll tell you, the same struggle a girl is going through in the rural is the same struggle a girl is going through in urban. Don't look at urban and you want to look at the Westlands. Look at urban and also look at the informal settlement. We still struggle from issues za mtoto msichana kukwenda kutafuta maji for long distance. They will come back home. They're the ones to make sure the family is going to get something on the table. They're the ones to make sure their siblings did their homework and all that. So the girl child takes up the responsibility of the mother every time in a family setup. So that gives that girl no time to study.
Okay,
of
so
course,
let
the
me...
boy will come from school and go straight to do their homework, not unless they are cheeky boys who will come back home and go to play football.
Let me ask you a question. You've said about these girls who have to be the mothers of the house. What about the boys who have to be the men in the house? I've been raised by a single mom. I have siblings. I had to be the dad of the house when I was so young. So that means I had to take up responsibilities that did not match my age. I had to take a lot of stress, a lot of things. I had to enclose all this for the sake of my siblings. You're saying girls don't have opportunities. They have so much on their plate. But how can we explain the crime cases that are rising and the more people who are in there at the boy child? What do you explain that? The pressure this boy child has pale nje. Unasema the female has to bring food in the table, but it's the man who's going out there. Not to be chauvinistic or what, but it's the guy anaenda huko nje anakosa, he has to steal. I've heard of a case where a man was alipigwa mob justice just because aliiba Pampers kwa supermarket.
I think
Unacheki?
maybe the question I'll throw back to you is, who do you associate with? Because I've seen instances whereby women have been beaten by mob for going to get something for the family. So when we talk about gender equality, and there's one thing I always tell men, don't be mean. If
Be
there's an
kind.
opportunity, if there's an opportunity that you can empower a girl, that you can safeguard a girl, that you can create a safe space for a girl, then do that. Ladies are exposed to so many things. I don't want to say ladies are vulnerable, because we are running away from the vulnerability bit of it.
They're entitled.
No, ladies are not vulnerable. The problem is the environments that ladies are living in are not friendly to them. We have ladies that are exposed to. I think coming from a person who has lived in informal settlement, girls go through something called kombi. No one knows that, and close to 60% of girls who live in informal settlement has gone through that. And that is a situation whereby it is your boyfriend exposing you to sexual harassment. That's not even sexual harassment, that is rape. Because if a girl is exposed, if a girl has sex with more than one person and you went there with the mentality of going to see your boyfriend, and your boyfriend is the one exposing you. So when we still want to talk about issues of gender equality, there's still a very big gap, and ladies still will need to be more empowered. Because currently, even the ladies in this country that we are saying are empowered are still going through harassment, GBVs, meaning men are still superior than the women. Maybe one thing I can say is a gap is maybe we need to start also empowering the boy child to understand the woman. Maybe that is where the gap is. But issues of inequality, I still wouldn't say that the men have been suppressed and ladies. No.
Hey man, everybody
That can never
was say hapa like Winnie and Leah like wamekata history. But you know, you've mentioned something very, very crucial. I think it's high time that we educated the boy child so that they can know how to deal with the female. True. But I think it's high time me and you should stand up and say that, as you said, gender equality, equal opportunities, equal everything, equals.
But I think when you're also looking at gender equality, you don't look at the equity bit of it, whereby all opportunities are at the same level, but not given the same platform. At times, when I need equal rights, it will mean me getting support to reach where the boy child is. If I'll need a stool to be the same height as a guy, then let that stool be provided for me. If the boy will need a stool to reach where the girl is, then everybody needs a step to be there.
Nice. Yeah, man, I'll call this a wrap. Man, there was no better way to put it as you've put it, and these are just wise words, man. So tuned in with me, Bana. As I told you earlier, it was Winnie and Leah, and I'm so grateful for you taking this chance to have a conversation with me. And thank you so much for your insights. So listeners, if you're listening to this wherever you are, kama wewe ni boy child, as vile amesema, if kuna stool, by the way, boy child, jitume, na as you always say, ukijijua utajijenga, na ukijijenga hakuna mse atakwambia shit. I was your host, Son of Maria, and it's all about the good vibes. No time for bad vibes, just mad vibes. So till next time, karibu tena.